Damn it, Bobby, this just ain't right.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Bobby G. We back with another reaction. We got this one by the flight mic. It's called DeMar DeRozan just changed everything. Y'all seen him? He just got signed by the Sacramento Kings. I think we reacted to the Kendrick Lamar video. He was in the vid and we was kind of talking about, yo, is he gonna head to the Lakers, the Clips? I was not expecting the Sacramento Kings, but let's see.
Contracts, there are certainly significant contracts, other scenarios for DeMar DeRozan, but I think Sacramento right now is the team to watch.
Another domino appears to have fallen in NBA free agency. One of the biggest marquee free agents has officially made his decision as to where he wants to play ball next. So before we get to the content, we are less than 40,000 subscribers away from getting to 1 million subscribers. I wanted to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for trying to make this push with me to achieve this goal that I've been working towards for over a decade. If you want to check us out on TikTok, Instagram, or Twitter, links to that's in the description down below as well. And now that we get all that out of the way, the intro.
This long ass intro.
Remarkable resurgence with the Chicago Bulls. At the time that DeRozan went to the Bulls, people didn't think he'd perform as well as he did. People didn't expect the Chicago Bulls to be as successful as they were during the 2021 to 2022 season. I think people forget, with a fully healthy DeMar DeRozan, Lonzo Ball, and Nikola Vucevic, this team looked like the best team in the Eastern Conference. DeMar DeRozan had a career year for himself at his age 32 season, averaging 28 points per game, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, and this man just started sinking 35% of his threes. Unfortunately, we know what would happen. Zach LaVine would come back and that would kind of mess with their chemistry. Lonzo Ball wouldn't see the court ever since getting injured during that season, and the Chicago Bulls were in NBA purgatory. They weren't good enough to compete for the playoffs, but they weren't terrible enough to get a good draft pick. And it's really unfortunate, man, because the way they played during that time when they were fully healthy was like lightning in a bottle. And DeMar DeRozan even acknowledges that, saying the feeling, the vibe, the energy that was around when we had that run in 2021 to 2022, I want the city and all these players to experience that again, and for myself too. It's always easy to complain and say what's not, but I made it clear that this is where I want to be and I want to ride it out and I don't want to go anywhere. They know it, everyone knows my stance. I lay it down from this perspective. I want to come back. Everybody else, figure out what you need to figure out, and that's just how I look at it, so I don't stress or worry about what's what. I made it clear that this is where I want to be. The powers that be just need to figure out what needs to happen. Everybody knows my mindset. Billy Donovan and management even praised DeMar DeRozan's leadership with the Bulls' young core and lauded his steady personality through trying times. Following a season in which DeRozan led the NBA in minutes played and fourth.
Hey, Billy's their coach, right? I'm just trying to make sure I'm hearing everything right.
Quarter scoring. The Bulls executive vice president even said DeMar has been great for us for 3 years. He's been invested in the city of Chicago and he's been really great to our young guys. So both sides are interested in continuing. But then everything changed during the NBA draft a few weeks ago. You see, at the time, the Chicago Bulls already did something that may have miffed DeMar DeRozan slightly, trading Alex Caruso for Josh Giddey, which, if you're DeMar DeRozan, you're entering your age 35 season, you're enjoying the fact that you're the focal point of the Chicago Bulls and you're averaging career highs in points per game and efficiency.
Yeah, no, there's no way DeMar was happy with this, bro. You talking about a young core role player who's already got like a bunch of these weird allegations. He had to be pissed about this. For Alex Caruso, who's a solid role defensive player,
But when you see that the Bulls are trading for a player in his early 20s that's about the same size as you, that plays the same positions as you, obviously you're going to feel some type of way. Now, you can make an argument that Josh Giddey doesn't exactly play the same position as DeMar DeRozan. Rather, he's more of a point guard, more of a point forward, someone that is going to facilitate the offense. If anything, Josh Giddey is coming in to take the place of Lonzo Ball. But the final nail in the coffin was on draft night, where the Bulls really had an opportunity that they just couldn't refuse. Now, we've said multiple times throughout this season that this year's NBA draft isn't that special. You might find some depth later on in the draft, you may find some solid role players, or you may find a diamond in the rough that might become an all-star someday, similar to 2013 where Rudy Gobert and Giannis Antetokounmpo became stars. But a player that was consistently mentioned as the potential top overall pick in this year's NBA draft throughout this season was Matas Buzelis. And if you look at mock drafts throughout the year, year, you would have seen him at the very top multiple times. But Matas Buzelis had a huge slide on draft night. He wasn't drafted in the top 3 or top 5 or even the top 10. He fell just outside the top 10.
Yeah, nah, this Matas dude is pretty tough. I ain't gonna lie, he's nice.
The 11th overall pick in the NBA draft. This is a guy that was ranked top 5 in his recruiting class, is 6'10", is incredible defensively, and could score in bunches, but he could definitely use some development in his jump shot. But regardless, it's a great risk to take with the 11th overall pick in a weak draft. However, Matas Buzelis also plays the same position as DeMar DeRozan, so you kind of get an idea that at this point, DeMar DeRozan's being pushed out. You're trading Alex Caruso, who's a win now piece, for Josh Giddey, who's a player that you're trying to develop, drafting the 19-year-old Matas Buzelis. And if you go back to what DeMar DeRozan wanted from the Bulls during this offseason, it doesn't seem like these two were aligned. Reminds me of what Damian Lillard wanted from the Blazers last year. DeRozan was asked what he wanted management to do during the offseason, and he said, I wanted a competitive team, a team that gives us a chance to make a run. Since I've been here, we've dealt with a lot. My first year was a team that we planned on being with, but to lose a star point guard in Zoe, Zach LaVine getting hurt later that year, we had all the pieces in play. I don't know if a black cat ran in front of us or we broke a mirror, but giving us a chance to be competitive and not just a team that fights for a play-in game. So with the trading of Caruso...
Nah, deadass, bro. Chicago Bulls... Since Jordan left the team, the Chicago Bulls have been the most cursed franchise in NBA, bro.
Josh Giddey and the drafting of Matas Buzelis, two players that pretty much play the same position as DeRozan. And then you consider the fact that the Bulls have been struggling to trade Zach LaVine all year long, you kind of get a realistic look of where this team is. Sure, maybe the Bulls were trying to do their best to get DeMar DeRozan some help, but you can't do that whenever you have a player like Zach LaVine under contract. Not to say that Zach LaVine's a bad player at all whatsoever, but you're talking about a guy that was injured this past year, that is being overpaid for his position, whose contract doesn't expire until the 2027 to 2028 season. And he has a player option in the 2026 to 2027 season, and you could best believe that Zach LaVine's probably going to opt into that. Meaning that the Chicago Bulls can't really compete with Zach LaVine on the roster, so they might as well start a rebuild and have Zach LaVine be the focal point of the offense so they could boost up his value.
That kind of seems that seems like the direction that they're headed into. But what do y'all think? Is Zach LaVine a franchise type player where you can put pieces around him and try to take your team serious, like playoff contender serious?
And eventually trade him, which means that DeMar DeRozan no longer fits into this team. DeMar DeRozan had a very interesting offseason. We all know that this man was drafted by the Toronto Raptors, which means that he was pretty good friends with Drake. I mean, going back to the 2021 season, this is what he had to say about Drake.
But besides basketball, everything, just the reassurance of, like, you know.
Bro, he even got the Nocta on, the Drake exclusive.
That was my partner. That was a friend. That was a friend of mine that was like, man, get away from everything. I know it's crazy. I couldn't even turn on TV that day. Phone was going crazy. I just went over there and we sat and talked for hours. Ate, sat and talked, and I think more than anything, just him being there for me as a friend. Right. First and foremost, you know, and no matter what, you know, when it come to him, he'll forever have a friend in me and loyalty out of me because, you know,
he cared.
Yeah, he was there for you.
He was there for me when everything was just going crazy, you know. And
then on the 4th of July, Kendrick Lamar dropped his Not Like Us music video, which is a Drake diss.
Damn, so him and Drake was really locked in like that. DeMar and Drake was really boys like that. Yo, what up, Juju?
And originally I thought he was shouting out Derrick Rose when he said this.
I'm glad D Rose came home, y'all didn't deserve him neither.
But you could...
Me too, bro. I thought he was talking about D Rose. But he's talking about DeRozan though.
Shouting out Derrick Rose when he said this.
I'm glad D Rose came home, y'all didn't deserve him neither.
But you could clearly see in the music video that's DeMar DeRozan. Now, DeMar DeRozan is from California, so it does make sense that he's friends with Kendrick Lamar as well. But given the fact that DeRozan is from California, one could assume that at this latter part of his career, there are two things he wants. He wants, one, to win a championship, and two, he wants to be back in California.
I swear to God, I thought he was headed to the Lakers, bro.
Now, originally, I thought that California team was going to be the Los Angeles Lakers. And in 2021, ironically, with JJ Redick, DeMar DeRozan thought he was really close to joining the Lakers.
Was the Lakers thing even remotely close?
Yeah, it was. To my knowledge, I thought it was a done deal. I remember I took a trip to Mexico just to get away because I could just feel the anticipation of everything. And to play. So I was like, I'm gonna get away for a couple.
I don't know, bro. I feel like he sees something in the Sacramento Kings that we don't see. That's kind of what I'm feeling with DeMar DeRozan, because what other reason, with the freedom he has, bro, and the money he's already made, why wouldn't you go to the Lakers to play with LeBron? There's got to be something else, bro. He's got to see something in the Kings that we don't see.
A couple days, take my mind off it, and by the time I come home, be free agency. Hey, I'm signing with the Lakers. I'm asleep one morning in Mexico. I get a call from Cal Lowry, and he said they just made the trade for Russ. What's going on? I thought the deal was done for you to go to Lakers, and I was like, I'm confused. I'm looking at my phone like, damn, that did happen. Well, I guess that's out the window. Like, you know.
But in order for this to have worked out, the Los Angeles Lakers would need to make another trade, and LeBron.
I don't know, bro. Maybe, bro, because you got De'Aaron Fox, you got Sabonis. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got a couple of role players, you got some shooters. I don't know if they still got Harrison Barnes. I know they got rid of Buddy Hield. Wait, Buddy Hield played on the Pacers. I'm tripping. Who else do they have? I wonder if they still got Herter. They have some shooters over there in Sacramento, I will say that.
James would need to take a pay cut, and there was a huge question of whether the fit would work with LeBron James, DeMar DeRozan, and Anthony Davis. So then you look at the next team, the Los Angeles Clippers. They lost Paul George, and they just signed James Harden to a huge contract, and as a result of that, they don't really have the cap space for DeMar DeRozan anymore. So now there are two California teams that make sense. You can rule out the Golden State Warriors because DeRozan just wouldn't fit into that offense. So you only have one team left, the Sacramento Kings. And there is some history between the Sacramento Kings and DeMar DeRozan. He's praised players on the Sacramento Kings before.
He went up against guard you a few times tonight. Your overall thoughts on him?
He's gonna be good. You know, long, athletic. You know, young. You know, you can see the raw talent he had. Give him some time, give him some experience. He'll be all right.
Now, Adrian Wojnarowski reported that the Sacramento Kings were really close to acquiring DeMar DeRozan.
Mario, the Sacramento Kings, they've been talking this week, and they're going to need a third team involved in a sign and trade. Chicago.
Bro, what do y'all think would be the best Cali fit for DeMar? People say that they could never see him fitting in Golden State. I honestly never understood that. I think he would fit like a glove in Golden State with Steph Curry, who's a pure shooter, and Draymond, who's not like, he's not a 7-foot center, but he's a center that likes to facilitate. I think he would have been tough in Golden State, bro. But the Lakers might have been kind of difficult though, because you already have Bron and AD. That squad probably needs more just like role players. DeRozan's more of like a closer to a franchise guy, so I don't think Clippers would have worked at all. Clippers fucking suck, bro. We'll see how Sacramento goes.
While they certainly are willing to facilitate helping DeMar DeRozan get more than the mid-level exception on a team that doesn't have cap space, they don't want to take back contracts, or certainly significant contracts. They'll need a third team to route a bigger salary to. But those conversations continue. Listen, I think there are some other scenarios for DeMar DeRozan, but I think Sacramento right now is the team to watch.
And then on Saturday, DeMar DeRozan made it official. According to Adrian Wojnarowski's sources via Tim Bontemps, the Sacramento Kings agreed on a sign and trade that will land DeMar DeRozan on a 3-year deal.
Okay, so Harrison Barnes is out of there. That kind of bites, I'm not gonna lie. And Chris Duarte. Duarte is actually a pretty solid role player, so that also kind of sucks. I ain't gonna lie.
Sending Harrison Barnes to the San Antonio Spurs, along with Chris Duarte, 2 second-round picks, and cash to the Chicago Bulls.
Holy shit! I did not even see that. 2 second-round picks and cash to the Bulls. Jesus, bro. Okay, this motherfucker DeRozan better ball out next season, bro. I ain't gonna lie. This is a lot going on. If DeRozan don't come out and put up at least 25 plus per game, this might be a L, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
So for me, this type of deal always depends on the amount of money that DeMar DeRozan will get. And to be honest, this deal is insane. DeMar DeRozan is signing a 3-year, $70 million contract to join the Sacramento Kings, teaming up with De'Aaron Fox.
Yo, can I have some bread too, bro? Cause y'all motherfuckers just handing out excessive bread to everybody. Holy shit, bro. 3 years for 74
and
M's.
Domantas Sabonis to keep the Sacramento Kings in the Western Conference arms race. The Kings will also send the Spurs a 2032 unprotected pick swap, sources tell ESPN. So DeMar DeRozan is heading over to Sacramento to team up.
All right, now I know why nobody wanted this nigga, bro. Holy shit. This is an expensive sign and trade. I'm not gonna lie.
De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis. For the Sacramento Kings, this is a no-brainer. DeMar DeRozan has been performing incredibly well into his 30s, and to get him on a $25 million a year contract, it's certainly not an overpay. It's not necessarily the move that on paper is going to rocket the Sacramento Kings to the top of the Western Conference, but it wouldn't shock me if this move is the difference between them making deep runs into the playoffs or just being a first-round exit.
Yeah, that is true, I guess. And plus, NBA money these days is way different. If y'all see what that nigga Franz Wagner just got from the Magic, oh my gosh, bro, I don't even play basketball, and if I signed up, nigga, I could at least get me like a quick 10 M's from the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how much they just handing shit out.
Or a play-in team. For DeMar DeRozan, this is easily the most competitive team he has ever joined since the Chicago Bulls in the first half of that 2021 season that we were talking about earlier in this video, or the Toronto Raptors teams that were always getting decimated by LeBron James in those Eastern Conference playoff runs. I think it's a great move for both sides, and I can't wait to see how it pans out throughout the regular season and into the playoffs. If you're a Kings fan, let me know in the comment section down below, how do you feel about DeMar DeRozan joining your roster? I'd like to hear what you have to say. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike.
Sheesh, W-vid from that boy, the Flight Mike. Bro, let me know down below what y'all think of this move with DeMar DeRozan. He's headed out west. Me personally, I feel like he would have been a perfect fit in Golden State with Curry and Draymond, who likes to get the ball out. That is a perfect fit. I don't know why people thought that it was going to be a bad fit or whatever, but let me know down below what y'all think. Leave a like on this video. Let me know if y'all are fucking with this sign and trade, bro. Is he being overpaid? Did they pay too much to get DeMar DeRozan? I don't know. Let me know. It's your boy. Thanks for stopping by. I'm gonna catch y'all. Peace.